let's talk about Horizon 4 and The Crew 2. Without a doubt, the two most anticipated games of 2018. As 2017 has been left behind, we now look to the future of racing games. And the future of racing games is The Crew 2 and Forza Horizon 4. Now, obviously, Need for Speed, Gran Turismo, Project Cars, all the other games, you know, that came out last year will still be supported. But in terms of new games, those two games, at least for me, are the ones that spark the most interest. I think you guys already know how I feel about The Crew 2. I am so excited for that game. Ever since I played it at Gamescom, I've only got good things to say about that game. They've really gone above and beyond to top the original Crew, and there's so much to do in it. I do believe that game is going to be a jack of all trades, a master of none, just because of how much content there is in the game. It's going to be hard to polish it all, and I don't think it will all be polished. I do think there's definitely going to be holes in certain places, but with that being said, I don't think it's going to be a broken game by any stretch of the imagination, and I think the amount of content which will be in The Crew 2 is going to be ridiculous. Naturally, with what they're doing with that game, how can you not be excited? If you're into anything which moves, whether that's planes, boats, cars, motorcycles, like, there's something for you in that game, and the breadth and the variety of what they're doing is ridiculous. On the other hand, you've got Horizon 4, which is going to be what I imagine is going to be a typical Horizon game. I know a lot of people are getting sick with Forza, and I completely understand. I've made videos talking about the exact same issues, but I didn't play as much Horizon 3 as I probably should have. Naturally, if you take a break from the game and you don't play it as much as you probably should have, when you go to the next game, it's going to feel a lot more fresh. So that makes me kind of look forward to the next Horizon game as well. Unless it's in Dubai. If it's in Dubai, I will kill myself. I don't want to see any more sand. I'm sick of seeing sand. If they come to E3 and that game, like, if I see sand in the E3 trailer, I'm going to kill myself. But with rumors about, you know, Horizon 4 being in Japan, I feel like Horizon gets rumors about it being in Japan every year now. To be honest, Horizon can go anywhere. If they go back to America, I'd be happy. If they went to Japan, I'd be happy. Even, you know, somewhere in Europe with, like, the Alps and shit, that'll be pretty cool. Obviously, I've got a soft spot for Japan as a location, and if it was in Japan, I think that would be ridiculous, and I would get extremely hyped if it came out, because half of Horizon is the location, it's the map, and elevation is something which has been missing from a Horizon map in a very, very long time. So if they were to fix that by going to Japan naturally is elevated. Like, it is literally a mountain. So it would be very hard for me not to get excited by the prospect of Horizon 4 being in Japan. But you've got two very, very different games, built for two very, very different markets, but at the same time, they're so alike in so many ways. A question which has been on my mind is, what am I going to play more this year? The Crew 2 or Horizon 4? Now, the answer is actually pretty obvious, to be honest. I'm making it sound like it's a big thing. It's probably going to be The Crew 2, and this is why. The sheer amount of content, the map, all the disciplines that come along with that. You know, you've got cars in the game, but as well as that, you've still got off-road spec cars, you've still got drift cars, you've still got race cars, etc. etc. There's a lot of content which is going to be in this game. You could probably go into the story mode and not touch the boats and just enjoy the cars for what the cars and say the motorcycles are, and still get thousands of hours in The Crew 2. As excited as I am for Horizon 4, and as cool as it would be if it was in Japan, it's still going to be the same old Horizon, and I don't have high expectations for the game. What I'm expecting is a polished racing game, you know, with no bugs and no problems, with a huge car list and, you know, a bit of customization here and there. And I'm not expecting anything groundbreaking from Horizon. That's not a bad thing. As much as I would like to see Horizon, you know, break the boundaries of what they're doing, as much as I'd like to see a story mode come back, as much as I'd like to see a lot of things change, in all honesty, after seeing what Need for Speed's done, I don't mind just getting a polished racing games which I can race on with my friends, and those are the two differences. I enjoy PvP in The Crew. That was one of the things which made me came back, and I do think I'm going to sink a lot of time into it. But I think with The Crew, that is an exploration game. It's about taking a car, driving around New York City, finding a long straight, then transforming into a plane and flying up to, you know, like a canyon somewhere, and then having a canyon battle with your friends. That is the type of game it is. It's kind of like a Top Gear challenge simulator almost. You know, I can see so many people, you know, going on there with friends and say, I'm in an off-road car. Let's say my friend is in a race car, is in a Huracan Performante, and then someone else has the job to go around the map in a boat and a plane. And I can see so many of those little challenges coming, you know, to light with The Crew, because it's so obvious. As where with Horizon, especially if it's a map with elevation and canyons and, you know, toge, I'm looking so forward just to tandeming with friends and just racing with friends and just being in a world where there's a ridiculous car choice and, you know, there's customization, and people can trash on Horizon as much as they want. But the feeling of pretty much picking any car there is in the world that matters and going out and racing in like a big open world, that's going to be sick. I miss that. I miss that. I miss being able to go on with my friends and like do Goliath for ages, or, you know, something across those lines. So that by itself is reason enough for me to get excited for the next Horizon. I'm not going to get overexcited because I know what's coming. You know, I've seen it happen too many times for me to over-expect things. Like, I'm not expecting it to be in Japan. I'm expecting it to be in Dubai. But I'm excited nevertheless because it's another racing game and I like playing racing games. So anyone who likes playing racing games is going to get excited for a racing game to come out. And like I said, with The Crew 2 for me, I can see myself sinking so many hours into that game. The mere fact that they're rumored to release at different times as well, I think is also an amazing thing. It's going to be something which is really going to, you know, help space out the games that come out this year, and I'm looking very, very forward to see what 2018 has in store. So what do you think you're going to play more? Do you think you're going to play more Horizon or more The Crew 2? Obviously, you can't really compare the games at face value because they're two completely different games, but, you know, I think it's pretty easy to say which one you're going to be playing more of. You know, like, you can compare any game in that kind of regard of like what you're going to play more of, and I think for me personally, without a doubt, it's going to be The Crew 2. I know a lot of people are going to look at this video on face value and they're going to read the title and they're not actually going to watch the video, and they're going to be like, oh, you can't compare those two games, and I'm thoroughly aware from a gameplay standard you can't, but from, I think, playtime, I think you can. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe and peace.